I do think it is funny how a lot of us find ourselves in this career. And by a lot of us, I mean those of us with ADHD end up as real estate agents. I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think that we just don't enjoy and don't thrive in an environment where there's high levels of oversight, high levels of expectation. I mean, if you're like me and you're a female that had ADHD growing up undiagnosed, and you were like a high achiever, but that was extremely challenging for you. Like I was horrible at procrastination. I was always trying to find the easy way out as a young kid. And that would roll over into like a corporate career. And it just is not something where I feel like I'm thriving and I feel like I'm comfortable, and that really utilizes the way that my brain works to my advantage. With that being said, real estate is also a career where having ADHD or a brain that works the way that ours do can be a real challenge. We go from having too much structure, too much oversight in like a corporate career to having none, and having to be self-motivated and keep ourselves organized, keep ourselves on task. And the way that I found to be successful in real estate as somebody whose brain works the way that ours do is a couple of things. First, you have to outsource consistency, because consistency is not our strong suit. In terms of lead gen and marketing, for sure. If you're like me, you're like constantly thinking of new cool ideas and how you could market and events you could hold and how you could find more clients and what different lead gen strategies there are. And you kind of have that like shiny object syndrome where anything could be a really cool new opportunity and could be really fun. And the reason is because every time we start trying something new, we get that rush of dopamine that we desperately need, and then it goes away and then we're over that option. So outsourcing consistency can be really valuable. What I mean by that is, like, for me, for marketing to my sphere, when I was a new real estate agent, I really struggled with the idea of marketing to my sphere, because our main forms of marketing to our sphere are mailers, email marketing, staying in touch on social media, and all of those things require some level of consistency that I just didn't have. I was like wanting to create my own mailers and like design them myself in Canva, and it was taking lots of my time, not an income producing activity. And also lots of my mental space. I was going, oh, what ideas, what creative ideas can I do for these postcards? And then when I wasn't having a good time coming up with things, I was feeling very stressed about it. So what I did was found a company that can just send mailers on my behalf. The company that I use is Boomerang DM. And the reason that I like Boomerang DM for outsourcing my consistency in terms of mailers to my sphere is that A, they send things that are location specific, and it can go to any of your clients in any market, right? So if you have clients that have moved out of state, or if you have clients in a like slightly further outside of your standard market that you work in, you can still send them mailers that will be relevant to them in that area. Also, it's sending something of value. It's sending discounts or coupons to various local restaurants or different local stores, Boomerang DM goes out and creates the partnerships with local companies in almost all markets so that you don't have to do that. And also, you don't have to pay for whatever the company is giving for the discount. Like if they're getting like a free appetizer or whatever it is, the company is taking on that cost of marketing, and you don't have to take that on. All you're paying for is the mailer, and you're slapping your name on it. And that has been key to my ability to maintain consistency with marketing to my sphere. Now, my sphere is not my main lead generation source. So what I use primarily is video marketing. And how do I stay consistent with video marketing as a person with ADHD? Because you have all the same issues, like what video ideas can I create, and like what am I going to film this week, and when am I going to do it, and where am I going to do it? And there's so many different options that my brain gets overloaded, and oftentimes I just end up doing nothing. So what I had to do was I had to pay money for accountability. You can do this in a lot of different ways. You can pay for a coach. You can pay to outsource your social media and just have a social media manager. You can pay for somebody that's like kind of an in-between, which is what I do. I still like to have a lot of control over what content I'm putting out, but I need help. I don't want to be editing videos. I don't want to be figuring out Instagram captions. I don't want to be doing any of that. So those portions I'm outsourcing, but coming up with the videos, like building the content or sending the ideas for the content that I want built, I'm still holding on to the control of that. And then I'm outsourcing the things that I don't want to do, and I'm paying a pretty penny for that. But that is value to me to maintain consistency that I otherwise would not. Because trust me, I have tried to do it on my own. And if you have experienced this, then you know that it can work for a while. And when you're really excited about something, we can be consistent with it for a period of time. But something happens, and something's bound to happen. And in real estate, generally what's going to happen is you are really stoked on this new idea you have for marketing. So like, say you're going to start doing video marketing, you're really stoked on it, you're running out and you're filming a ton of videos and you're posting them to whatever platform it is that you want to post them to, and it's really working, and you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that this was going to work so well. So first you get the dopamine hit for the idea, and like going out and filming the content and having a good time, dopamine hit. Oh my gosh, you post it, it starts working, another dopamine hit. So you have some time there where you're building some consistency. Then you actually start getting leads, and those leads actually start buying homes or selling homes. And all of a sudden, you don't have the time to be out filming content. You don't have the time to be thinking about captions and posting and timing and all of the things that come along with online marketing. And now you're focused on serving your clients well. Which we do. We serve our clients well. But now, there went the consistency with all of your video marketing. So what I have found is that I have to pay somebody that is going to, A, do the things that I don't want to do, which is like the editing and the captions and the yada, yada, yada. And they are going to create a calendar for me. They're going to create a filming calendar or like a content building out calendar so that I know what they need from me at what times, and that they're going to bug me if I don't do it, which drives me crazy. But it's the only way I'll stay consistent. So I pay them for that. The other thing that I will say, if you are a real estate agent with ADHD, is to avoid lead generation, to avoid types of lead generation that are easily distractible. So I do still utilize social media for lead generation, but I cannot do it myself. Like, I cannot be the one that is like getting onto Instagram and posting to social media, because it will, without fail, lead to me scrolling for however much time I feel like I have available to do so while I'm posting or what I'm doing. This is part of that paying for accountability, or paying or outsourcing my focus in terms of those things. So I want to film the content, send it to somebody else, and I want them to post it, and I don't even want to look at it. I want to be able to honestly delete apps off of my phone so that they are not available to me. Other things that create distractibility are things that have really high levels of notification too. So like if you are doing some sort of lead gen where, maybe it's like a lead paying, like a pay for lead platform, but like how if you're using an ISA, they are calling people all the time, and so there's like conversation, and like the vast majority of them are going to go nowhere, but you as a person with ADHD are like paying attention to it, and you're like reading through it, and like that, and it's just distracting you because you're getting ping conversation. That's not going to work for you. So you either need to like delete the app and like find a way for them to notify you when there is a hot lead, right? Or build out a system so that you are not being distracted by notifications constantly, because it's just not going to work. Last thing that you need to do as a real estate agent with ADHD, that we need to do, because I always have to remind myself, all of these things that I have implemented into my business after 5 years did not happen overnight, and I'm still not great with them. Like, even though I have outsourced consistency, I still have that like every once in a while where I'm like, I'm gonna create a mailer and send it, or like, I want to do this Instagram post and I want to have control over it, and I want to be able to be the one to do it, and then I end up scrolling for hours. So the last thing that you need to do is write things down. You need to write down a to-do list. And like, it needs to be down to the minute. Like, today I need to eat a snack. Because if you're like me and you have ADHD and you come to the office and you're like, yes, I'm going to get all these things done, then you don't eat because you're too busy focused on the other thing. And you can't work and be productive without eating. I also like send email to Scott or whoever. Send text message to this person about this. Sometimes it's like text mom about like the thing that's in the garage that I left. Like, even things that are like so minute and so personal. Buy dog food after work. Send content, right, to social media manager. Like, all of those things should be on your list. It should be down to the nitty gritty. And like, if it doesn't get done, that's fine. Have a long running list, all of the things that you feel like you need to do all the time, and then move the things that have high priority in the morning. Look at your list. High priority things, move to today's list. And I'm just gonna try to get through today's list. What are those things? Because I know that we have like literally a never ending list of things that we feel like we need to do in our business. Because there's always things that you can be doing. There's always more that you can be doing. There's always new things, more lead gen, more systems, more blah, blah, blah. But we're never gonna get to them all. And even though our brain says, if we get to them, we get dopamine, if we get to them, we get dopamine, we're never gonna get to them all. So go ahead and put them all on a list so that your brain feels like you've got them out there. It's in the universe, it might be coming, but then pull from that list the things that you need to be working on that are the most productive. And also audit your list for income producing activities. Are we doing things that are income producing, or are we spinning our wheels, being distracted by things that we don't need to be doing? Writing it down will help you identify whether or not that's the thing that you actually need to be doing. It is difficult to be a real estate agent with ADHD. I feel you, but you can do it. It is actually our superpower because it makes us so much better at this job. It makes us so adaptive, and it makes us so good at problem solving and working for our clients the way that we need to. But it can feel so overwhelming. If you're a real estate agent and you are in this boat where you feel like you need help, please feel free to reach out to me. DM me on Instagram at Hannah Caldwell Realtor. You can DM me on TikTok at Eugene_real estate, or you can just shoot me an email. It's in the description box. And I'm always here to help because real estate is a hard place and having ADHD is a hard thing, and we can all do it. We can all get there together. You can be successful. I'll see you in the next video. I hope this helped, and stay tuned for more on working in real estate as a mom with ADHD in this crazy world.